Everybody's hating on this X-Men run. Old school fans like my age, just hating. And at the time of recording, I just turned 45. Not when the video's released, just when I'm recording it. And I feel like if I'm alive 5 years from now, God willing, that when people look back on this run, they're gonna be like, you know what? Really wasn't that bad. Because for some reason, our ass cheeks have 20/20 vision. Oh yeah, by the way, Chilefi, I think that's how you pronounce it, 2375. This is why you'll never see me do a live stream, because I won't be able to pronounce half you guys' names. Anyway, he chimed in on a Lord Kenneth video and was like, no Banff, it smells like farts in this video. I got you in this video, homie. I got you at least 2 to 3 times. Support the comic book industry by visiting your local comic book store. My name is Dorian. This is SEO Comics. We continue our coverage of Uncanny X-Men with number 16. Our story starts off in New Orleans, Louisiana, at City Hall, looks like. And we see Mackenzie Diener giving a speech. Now, this is the lady that had her child saved by Nightcrawler and was so nice to Kurt in the next issue, like it wasn't funny. And I was like, that's how it's supposed to be. That's how you're supposed to treat mutants, especially when they go out their way to save your child's life. But then, like a few issues ago, we seen her walk into City Hall, and it looks like she was about to turn snitch. Like, and I got kind of mad. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, does anybody stick to the G code anymore, man? Like, why everybody got to snitch on everybody? Well, it's actually the exact opposite. She's there because she feels like not enough is being done for the mutants. She explains how her child was about to get hit by this truck whose brakes failed, and Kurt had to bamf. So then the truck, as it rolls through his bamf cloud, now smells like farts, and he gave the child to her mother, safe and sound, even though she smells like farts. And she also explains how mutants go out their way all the time to save people. There were 36 different instances just this month. And then the mayor chimes in and adds on how New Orleans is going to be a safe haven for all mutants. But they're going to go one step further, and they're going to have the first ever friendship festival for mutants. And they're going to do it New Orleans style. So it's going to be food, music, rides, and games. Actually, she said we're going to do it Nolan style. Gavin Gentry, he's like an artist for DC, and I think he's an artist for Marvel too. He actually did artwork on this book. So if you watch this video, let me know if I said Nolan's the right way. You don't watch these damn videos. What am I talking about? That was a bit of good news. Now we get to the bad news, where we cut to the Dark Artery, and our Uncanny X-Men are putting in work. Man-Thing, who is burning people up, because if there's fear in your heart, you will burn at the touch of the Man-Thing. And Kurt is baffing everywhere, so all these undead, wherever the hell they are, smell like undead. They also smell like farts. Miss Henrietta is just walking calmly through the battlefield. Ransom is pretty much like, I don't know who these things are, but they could take one hell of a beating. Rogue is like, they were fighting ghosts. You know I hate fighting ghosts. And Gambit's like, how the hell would I know that? As he hits one of them with his bow staff. So Ransom turns to Death Dream and is like, hey, where you going? You need to keep fighting. You need to protect the girls. And Death Dream just goes, enough. Extremely loud. And I'm not gonna lie. He looks cool as hell as he lets all of his powers loose. He goes, you tormented their molest. So I read that. I was like, hey, now, Death Dream, you can't be using that word now. You come on now. It's Family Channel. It's not Family Channel. Still can't use that word, even though I just used it. You know what I mean. Anyway, he was pretty much saying how dare you defy the successor of Shuvahrak. Now, if you don't know who Shuvahrak was, she was a normal, regular mutant, I guess you could say. And she was married. Her husband was kind of jealous that she had mutant powers. He was really jealous when they had a daughter, and she also had mutant powers. Well, he wound up killing their daughter Well, she just went crazy. And I guess her mutant power is vast because she's the one that created this place. So I feel like she's like, if not like in reality warping territory, she's like right underneath. So yeah, she's like Wu-Tang Clan. She ain't nothing to f with. So now anybody who betrays a family member who happens to be a mutant is now sent there. And she's tired of doing the job. And she wants one of our young mutants to take over. And it looks like Death Dreams wants a job because he's just 10 toes down trying to do it. Should I say up, because, you know, he's floating. So this old lady confesses how she did not stick to the G code, and she told everybody that her granddaughter was a witch, and they burned her at the stake. And she was like, I could still smell her burning. Oh yeah, she belongs right there. So then Death Dream points to this butcher, and he just starts singing like a canary. He's like, yeah, my sister's children, they can read my thoughts. Horrible, forbidden thoughts. Yeah, this dude's a pedophile. So like I said, Death Dream just like, look, she's tired of being your jailer. So now I will be your jailer. And then they're like, free us, Lord. We have paid. Let us rest. Let us be free of life. All of a sudden, Ransom in a weird voice says, never. Because Shuvahrak has taken him over. So he goes, or so I say she goes, I am the voice of darkness. I have no mouth, so I speak through the living and the dead alike. And you tormented shall never know peace. So this is like, if you breathers interfere, you will share the same fate until the sun burns us to asunder. Which should happen in about 4.5 billion years from now, so it's pretty safe to say we won't see that. So Wolverine's like, well, looks like we're gonna share that fate because you ain't getting these kids. So then Gambit's like, Wolverine, let me holler at you for a second. He's like, this ain't no like wannabe director, this ain't no really big robot. She's pretty much damn near a god. So Wolverine's like, I guess we're fighting the damn god then.
You gonna learn today.
So the Miss Henrietta walks up to Wolverine and is like, this is the Logan I remember. Looking fine, James. So the Wolverine goes, and you look pretty as a peach, like always. And she's like, I hate to admit it, but back in the day, I had a little bit of crush on you. And then Wolverine kisses her hand and was like, did I miss my chance, darling? Like, this dude is 5'3", and he be clapping all the cheeks. Like, all of them. Like, he's the same height as Kevin Hart. And if he was a real person, I guess he'll be saying,
you gonna learn today.
So now Calico starts freaking out, talking about, you lied to me. You all lied to me. Mama says is that mutants is when goblins have sex with witches underground. Now, I don't want to call her simple, but man, that girl was sheltered. So Jitter does her best to try to calm her down. And then Ransom, who is still possessed, talks about the four who may touch death. How Calico brought a dead animal back to life, talking about a horse Ember. How Jitter borrows powers from people who have departed. Death Dream, self-explanatory. So the road's like, oh, well, what about Ransom? You know, explain that one. And then the possessed Ransom says that he bears the symbol of the soul heavenly body, the crescent moon, which is above them, and then lifts up his shirt, and there goes the crescent moon. So Nero's like, you heard her. Are any of y'all ready to leave on our own here? Everybody says no. They join hands. And she's like, oh, let's go kick a guy's ass. So Rogue goes flying in hot. And she smacked the bejesus out of Rogue. I mean, she goes flying. And Rogue's like, I'm not gonna lie. Felt that one. So then Miss Henrietta's like, get back, children. This ain't for your eyes. And of course, Ransom's like, no, this ain't just their fight. This is our fight too. So then Miss Henrietta does a flashback to when she let that agent live. And the big dude didn't want to do it, but he tried his best. And he told the agent, you see that over there? That's the only ground that we can bury our dead and they're not disturbed. So if you tell anybody about that, I'll make sure that you are buried in it. And the agent's like, I promise I won't tell anybody. I swear to God. And big dude lets him go. It's like, you better not. So the Miss Henrietta's like, do you believe him? Dude's like, of course I don't believe him. But in saying that, we got some preparations to take care of. So Wolverine has Nightcrawler banned from above Shuvahrak, so now she smells like death. Now she also smells like farts. So once Wolverine's up there, he goes, I'm not gonna lie, we could have used Cyclops right about now, because Rogue is a good leader, but she ain't the strategist like Cyclops. But Wolverine does what he does best. He punches a hole in her skull using his claws. So then jitters with Calico, and she's like, they can't hurt her. She's like a dragon or something. And then Calico goes, like a dragon. And she's like, Ember, wherever you are, I need you. And that horse appears out of nowhere. What in the hell? She hops on and she uses her powers and she tacks Shuvahrak directly into the chest. So then Jubilee is like, Rogue, she's afraid. And Rogue's like, what are you saying, Jubilee? Shuvahrak, she's afraid of the horse. So finally Rogue gets it, picks up Man-Thing, carries him right to Shuvahrak, and goes, everybody get clear, because whoever has fear shall burn at the touch of the Man-Thing. And that's exactly what happens to Shuvahrak. So Jubilee asks Rogue to pick her up so that she can talk to Shuvahrak, and she goes, look, we mean you no harm. As her face is burning, she goes, we know you're grieving your daughter. I have a child too, and I can't wait to see him again. All we want to do is protect our children that are with us. Shuvahrak goes, go, and never come back. Never. So as they're leaving, Jitter asks Miss Henrietta, so what happened to the agent, and also too, what happened to the guy that got shot? So she's like, well, of course the agent didn't keep his word, and he came back the next day with reinforcements. But once they got there, there was nothing to be found. So he was found unfit to serve and got kicked off the force. And as for George, I wound up marrying him. So then Logan's like, Miss Henrietta, you clearly don't age. Why not come with us? And she goes, oh, Logan, do you not know? When I said I wanted to leave, that was Shuvahrak talking through me. Me, I like it down here. All my family members are down here. I don't want to go nowhere. So as they walk home, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, they're going to walk home and Marcus's family and probably him is probably going to be torn asunder by that robot dog. Nope, not in the slightest. The dog was actually programmed to be friendly once, I guess, it drowned. I'm guessing, I don't know. All I know is that it scared the hell out of Deathstream because, Deathstream got tore up by this dog. And now he's licking him. And Ransom asked Miss Henrietta a while back in this comic book that I forgot to bring up, why did she mark the dark artery with an X? Because this is way before the X-Men. And she's like, poor little boy. Don't you know that back in the day, X meant family? And once they're all gathered around and eating dinner, Deathstream says, you know what? This is X. As Man-Thing goes back to a swamp.